Hi Aries, this is your July 7th through the 13th weekly tarot reading. We'll have 5 separate spreads in this weekly reading. In the first spread, we'll be looking at new love entering your life. Spread number 2 is for those of you who are already in a relationship or married. In the third spread, we'll see if anybody wants to get back together with you. After that, in spread number 4, we'll talk about your work, your business, and your finances. And the fifth spread will be what you're not expecting to happen this week. Please like, comment, and subscribe to support this channel. This first spread is a new love this week, Aries. We have the Eight of Swords clarified by the Hermit, the Eight of Wands clarified by the King of Swords. We have the Ace of Swords in the potential outcome. We have the Wheel of Fortune with the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. And we also have the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We also have Virgo. And we have fire, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. It's a pretty straightforward reading, Aries. I'm a little surprised to see the Queen of Wands on the bottom of the deck, all the way to right, because every once in a while, not all the time, but maybe most of the times, the card on the bottom of the deck represents something or someone unexpected. Not every single time, but, every once in a while it really does. But the Queen of Wands is most likely you, unless you're meeting this King of Swords, who you're going to be dealing with, through a fellow fire sign. Okay, but we'll just assume that you're the Queen of Wands here and you're dealing with this King of Swords in the middle right there, right? So the King of Swords is most likely an air sign, Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or somebody with some major air placements in their chart. If they're not an air sign, they could be somebody who is very intelligent, like a lawyer, a doctor. They could wear a uniform for work, any type of uniform. So be on the lookout of this King of Swords. This reading actually starts with the Eight of Swords clarified by the Hermit. Okay, the Hermit is a Virgo major arcana card, but if we put those two cards together, the Eight of Swords and the Hermit, somebody, before they make a move, they are taking their time to wrap their head around what's happening, just maybe kind of realize how they feel. Maybe somebody is like a little bit overthinking or trying to understand what's actually going on because they're not sure, because they're not aware of how the other person feels. Somebody could be thinking about the best way to get this off the ground, what to write in that text, in that message, where to take you out, what kind of restaurant, what kind of food, what have you. So those two cards together, it's like somebody's thinking, right? Because the Hermit is the thinker of the tarot deck. It is a card of doing some soul searching, isolating themselves, going through some kind of a thought process. You get the idea. It could be this King of Swords going through this, or it could be you going through this, Aries, right? Or it could be both of you. Maybe you're just not aware. Okay? Whatever the case, here comes communication. Here comes communication with the Eight of Wands, clarified by the King of Swords, and the Ace of Swords. Those three cards are cards of communication, and the King of Swords is the person you're communicating with, right? The Eight of Wands could be a card of travel, by the way. Okay, so it could be them showing up, like literally getting on a plane, on a train, on a car, on a horse, and showing up. But it is a communication card. Again, maybe this is you who's communicating with them. Okay, if you feel like reaching out to them, go for it, Aries. But if they reach out to you, then that's what the Eight of Wands is all about. It's also the Cupid's arrows card, right? So this person is like coming to realization, maybe, that yes, those feelings they have for you are genuine and real, right? Maybe that's what the Hermit was all about, them to kind of, maybe they've never felt this way before, and they're like, oh my God, what's happening to me? I need to think about it. And the longer they think about it, the more they realize that yes, they do have feelings for you. And the Ace of Swords, right there in the middle, is the Ace of Truth. The Ace of Truth. So maybe they're in love with you, and they're going to tell you they have feelings for you, that Ace of Swords, right? The Ace of Swords is also one of the yes cards in the tarot deck. With the Ace of Swords, people have a very straightforward, very direct conversation, right? Very honest, very transparent conversation. And I think this is where the two of you finally get on the same page about what's going on. Alright, and in the potential outcome, we have the Wheel of Fortune with the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups. So once that Ace of Swords plays out, once you do have that conversation, it's going to be smooth sailing from that point on. That's how it feels. That's where definitely love cards show up, right? The Eight of Wands is a love card, but it could be a card of travel, communication, but the Two of Cups and the Ace of Cups, when it comes to love readings, it's definitely genuine, true love, right? The Ace of Cups is a love, is the love ace. The Two of Cups in the middle is a soulmate card. It's a card of when two people are on the same page, feeling the same way towards one another. The Wheel of Fortune is definitely a start of a new cycle on the next level up, because it's in a potential outcome. With the Wheel of Fortune, maybe you're going to go somewhere together, move in together, right? But for some of you, maybe it's even like a very fortunate turnaround with that Wheel of Fortune. So yeah, looks very, looks very straightforward. Once that Ace of Swords plays out, bam, no more obstacles, no more thinking about what the other person is thinking and what kind of feelings they're harboring. Yeah, looks awesome. Really happy for you, Aries. Congratulations. If you are already in a relationship or married, Aries, this spread is for you. We have the Ten of Swords, the Devil, the World, and the Four of Cups on the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with a Capricorn. Well, let me go through the cards real quick and what they mean. We have two cards that could be interpreted as cards of an ending. That would be the Ten of Swords and the World. The Four of Cups on the bottom of the deck is a card of a rejection, or somebody saying no, no more. Okay, and we have the Devil. Okay, the Devil could simply be a Capricorn you're dealing with. The Devil is a Capricorn major arcana card, but the Devil could be a card of something toxic, something addictive. Yeah, it could be a card of somebody. What's going on here, Aries, right? Definitely an ending. Definitely an ending, okay? For some of you, you could simply be going on a diet. Maybe you're like, okay, I need to go on a diet. I don't know. Right? So this spread right here qualifies as somebody saying, I'm not going to eat certain foods anymore. I'm done. Okay? It could also be somebody saying, I'm not going to drink anymore. Okay? I'm not going to consume any adult beverages. Somebody could be saying, I'm not going to use anymore. All right? Or indulge myself in certain things anymore. Somebody could be saying no more to a person. All right, to a person. So let me know how this plays out for you. But this is definitely an ending for sure. Something is definitely coming to an end. And again, it could either be a relationship or marriage with a Capricorn, or you could be throwing a toxic person out of your life. Not necessarily your significant other. It could be a neighbor, a relative, a friend. You could be rejecting or saying no to that friend, who has bad influence on you or your whole family. Something along those lines. But no more. No more. Whatever the Devil represents in your case, it's done. You're done with it. All right? Cool. Let's see if anybody comes back from the past for you, Aries, this week. Keep in mind, it doesn't have to be the most recent ex. We have the Page of Swords clarified by the Moon. We have the Seven of Swords clarified by the Five of Swords. We have the Ten of Wands clarified by the Seven of Cups and the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with a Pisces or absolutely any zodiac sign. Well, there's something fishy going on with this person. Something definitely dishonest. It's like there's no love here. Like if you do hear from somebody, it's not because they're like realizing they're madly in love with you, Aries. They're going through something, and maybe they need a place to stay. Maybe they are low on money, low on cash, or something. They need you for something. Not because they're like madly in love with you. No. There's something going on here. Okay. Definitely, right? The Moon, all the way to your left, could be a Pisces. But the Moon is a card of like fear or secret. Fear and secret. It's a very emotional card. Okay, the Five of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck, it is with all the other cards put together. Most likely something happened to either their living situation, or maybe they lost a job, or they got kicked out of their living situation, or they need money, something among those lines. That's what I think the Five of Pentacles means in this particular situation, right? Speaking of them being kicked out, the Seven of Swords clarified by the Five of Swords, I wouldn't be surprised that's it right there, right? And the Seven of Swords is a card of maybe they're like running away. It is a card of dishonesty. It is a card of, somebody sneaking around. It is a card of cheating. The Five of Swords clarifying that they could have gotten into some kind of a major fight because they got caught cheating, or because they got caught lying and somebody kicked them out. right? Or maybe they lost a job because they got caught stealing. You know, it's just, there's just so many ways to interpret those two cards and all the other cards together. The Ten of Wands clarified by the Seven of Cups. They're struggling, right? The Ten of Wands is a card of a burden, struggle. Okay, and the Seven of Cups, maybe they're struggling with some kind of a addiction, because the Seven of Cups could be a card of intoxication. But at the same time, maybe this is them going through their address book or going through their contacts in the phone, right? And maybe you're just one of the people they're going to hit up. They're going to send a message to, like, oh, here's Aries. Maybe I can send a message to an Aries and see what Aries says. You know, be very careful when it comes to people from the past this week. You know, if somebody does reach out to you, if an ex reaches out to you, they need you for money, for a place to stay, for what have you. All right, cool. Let's talk about your work, your business, and your finances, Aries, this week. We have Death, the Six of Cups, the Page of Wands clarified by the Page of Cups, and we have the Star on the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with a Scorpio, maybe an Aquarius. So you'll be hearing from somebody from your past, okay? If maybe they're going to be reaching out to you asking if you could help them find a job, right? Or something like, or maybe they will reach out to you asking if you're interested in the job, okay? Yeah, but you'll be hearing from somebody from your past, Aries, okay? So yeah, Death card, the first card that came out, could simply be a Scorpio you're dealing with. Death is a Scorpio major arcana card. Death is a card of an ending or transformation, all right? So perhaps the person you're going to be hearing from, maybe they lost a job and they're looking for a new job, and they'll reach out to you asking if you know anything, if you have anything, right? If the company you work for is hiring or something like that, or if you can connect them with somebody. That could be like a transformation. Maybe they started a new job in a new role, and perhaps the new workplace they started at has a position open, and they thought of you, and they're going to be like, hey, we got this new position, I got this new job, and they have this position here, are you interested? The Six of Cups in the middle, it is a card of somebody from the past. Okay, the Page of Wands clarified by the Page of Cups, communication, yeah, messages, back and forth messages. Okay, the Star on the bottom of the deck could be an Aquarius you're dealing with, but the Star could be like a wish come true. It's also a card of healing. Okay, for others of you, we do have it has nothing to do with like a work situation. Okay, but it has something to do with children. Okay, because if you look at all these cards, you'll probably notice that we have 4 kids in the cards, right? There are 2 children in the Six of Cups, and the pages could also be kids. So maybe they're going to reach out to you about some kind of a children's situation. Okay, something could have changed in their life, something could have ended, and now they want to, I don't know. Since it's a financial reading, it's a financial spread, maybe there's children, maybe you'll be like, okay, so maybe we can go on a play date or go on a field trip with children, and maybe you'll be spending money on that or something like that. All right, cool. Let's see what you're not expecting to happen this week, Aries. We have the Queen of Cups clarified by the Six of Swords. We have the Nine of Cups, the Knight of Wands clarified by the Ace of Wands, and the Ace of Cups on the bottom of the deck. You could be dealing with a water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. We also have fire, another Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. So this spread is most likely for my male or masculine viewers, male or masculine Aries people. I don't think you're the Queen of Cups. I think the Queen of Cups is somebody you're going to be dealing with. If you are going to a Cancer birthday party this week, then that Queen of Cups could be the birthday girl, right? Okay. Yeah, speaking of going, the Six of Swords clarifying the Queen of Cups, yeah, it is a card of like literally going somewhere. And it's also a card of like improvement. With the Six of Swords, things usually get better. And it really does look like an improvement, according to the remaining cards on the table. We got a couple of aces, right? The Ace of Cups all the way to your right. This ace is all about love, true, genuine, authentic love. And we got another ace, the Ace of Wands, clarifying the Knight of Wands right next to the deck. It could be you. It could be your energy right there, Aries, right? Because you're a fire sign. Those 2 cards are definitely fire sign indicator. At the same time, those 2 cards are very, very passionate cards, right? One very passionate card is clarifying another very passionate card. So maybe you and this Queen of Cups can get something started. Get something very passionate started. All right, and the Nine of Cups in the middle is a card of a wish come true, by the way. It's also a card of a satisfaction and fulfillment. In some tarot decks, in the Nine of Cups, people are standing around and socializing. In some other tarot decks, in the Nine of Cups, people are sitting around the table, enjoying a meal, and also socializing. So yeah. What you're not expecting, maybe you're invited to this celebration, a birthday party, or maybe you'll meet this Queen of Cups and you definitely have something that's about to get started between you and this Queen of Cups. All right, Aries, so that's what I have for you for this reading for this week. If this video resonates with you, please like it. Please also comment and subscribe. And other than that, Aries, have an amazing week.